live. Gonna do what? Come on, do what they do. Oh, come on, Kurt. Okay, wow. That was actually the fastest setup I've had for a game yet. And so, I'm not going to kick it for a couple minutes, but I'll say that my name is Ron Juckett, and welcome to Retro Sports presentation of this Week 4 1978 late afternoon matchup between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys from Texas Stadium. It is a chamber of commerce late afternoon here at God's favorite stadium. Why is that? Because there's a hole in the roof, so he can watch his favorite team play. Temperature is 69 degrees on this first week of October. It is clear, and Dallas, who incorrectly has the blue by them, will have the wind here in the first quarter as they eventually will go right to left. The Cardinals come into this a big surprise. They lost this game. In fact, Dallas was a 17-point favorite in real life. You can see on the screen that the computer has them favored by 8. The Cardinals would start the year 0-6. And then a change came around, and they actually they won like 8 out of the last 10. They finished 8-8. If I'm wrong, someone will correct me. The Cowboys, I didn't write down the records. I took notes. I didn't take that down. The Cowboys come into this, and the replay is 3-0. They've only given up 14 points. And that was last week. So it's a big one as the Cardinals, who are coached by Bud Wilkinson of Oklahoma fame and later for ABC's college football coverage, him and Chris Schenkel. If you are of a certain age, and I am not, that was the primary team on ABC until Keith Jackson took over in 1974. Make sure the audio is going out. Okay. So that's the matchup that we have for you. You will see these Cowboys again on Tuesday, live, and of course, anytime you want on Retro Sports Network, as they they travel to RFK Stadium, regardless of what they do here, to play the Washington Redskins on Tuesday. The Cardinals are a surprise. Like I said, the Cardinals are a big surprise. They are quarterbacked by Jim Hart, and Mel Gray is going to be their big offensive star at wide receiver. And, of course, Dan Deerdorf is on their offensive line. I know that's a name that you know. And the Cowboys, you really don't need much introduction to. So, in about 60 seconds, we will start. Let's see, what else we got coming up for you? Sunday, live at noon, we'll have some hockey for you. And I'm also taking your requests for what you'd like to see done on the channel for one-offs. All right? All right. So with all that in mind, the Cardinals will be going from left to right. It is Billy White, Shoes Johnson deep for Dallas. Brinson and Blackwell are the up men standing on their 15-yard line. Dallas won the toss. They get the football. St. Louis will have it to start the second half. And Jim Bacon gets a kick on it, and we are underway from Irving. And it's a kick driven to the 5-yard line. 10, 15, 20 by Henderson, and it's knocked down at the 23. Sensenbaugh with the tackle. Billy White Shoes Johnson with the return. And so let's meet the Dallas Cowboys offense. Well, you know that man, Tony Dorsett, in his second full year in the National Football League, he would rush for 1,325 yards and get back to the Super Bowl. It won't be Preston Pearson. Robert Newhouse is the other running back with Dorsett. Dallas is a run first, pass later team. Preston Pearson will be there for passing plays when needed. At one wide receiver is Tony Hill. And at the other is Drew Pearson. And the tight end, Billy Joe Dupree. Trap left at Dorsett. on the first play of the game. Dorsett waits for his blocks and gets nowhere before Bob Pollard makes the tackle after no gain. Stood him up right at the line of scrimmage. Let's meet the Cowboys' offensive line, and they're a good bunch. Rayfield Wright is the right tackle. Tom Rafferty is the right guard. John Fitzgerald is your center. Herbert Scott, the left guard. And Pat Donovan is the left tackle. 2nd and 10. Sweep left to Newhouse is the call to the near side. And he gets the 25 to the 30. Will he get a first down? He will. 35 before Tim Kearney makes a tackle after a gain of 14. So spot it now at the Dallas 37-yard line, and let's meet the Cardinal defense. They play a 3-4. Bob Pollard on the right defensive end. Mike Dawson, the quarterback of the line, at tackle. And John Zook is the left defensive end. Steve Niels is the left outside linebacker. Tim Kearney is the left inside linebacker. Kurt Allerman is the right inside linebacker. Mark Arneson is the right outside linebacker. Roger Worley is the right corner. Carl Allen is the other corner. Lee Nelson is one safety. Is a strong safety, and Ken Green is the free safety. 1st and 10, just the start of things. Yep. Yeah, Cards actually caught fire in about a couple weeks after this game, Al. Okay, so 1st and 10. Off tackle to Dorsett. And Tony gets it across, so he gets back to the line a little bit more. Kearney with a tackle at the 40-yard line. So a gain of 3. And a minute and a half into this first quarter. So Dallas has run it 3 times for 17 yards. 2nd and 7. Medium slant to the tight end Dupree. Staubach has time. He looks. He finds Dupree across midfield. 45-40. 35-30. Before Roger Worley, who is one of the better corners of all time, makes a tackle at the 32-yard line. He finally made the Hall of Fame within the last 5 years. Was an interception wizard for a team that just didn't get a lot of publicity. It was harder to be in the National and the NFC East with the Cowboys and the Redskins if you weren't very good. Dorsett on a pitch left. 1st and 10. And he gets nowhere. Kearney. They keyed on Dorsett, and Kearney knocked him down after a loss of 4. And so 5 plays into the game, Kearney has 3 tackles. Well, that's pretty good. So 2nd and long, 2nd and 14 for Dallas. Going to try Dorsett off tackle on the right side. Staubach in the shotgun. Dorsett gets to the 30. Gets across the 30 before Mike Dawson makes the tackle. And that's Dorsett's 4th carry, and he finally has 4 yards. He got 5 on that. Scott Laidlaw will come in for Tony. And it'll be 3rd and 9 from the 27. Drew Pearson on a medium slant. Staubach stays out of the shotgun. He has time. He finds Pearson at the 15 to the 10. And Allen makes the tackle at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 20, and it took 4 Cardinals to bring him down. Thanks, Al. Always glad to have you with me. So 1st and goal from the 7. The Cowboys on the opening drive of the game. 7 plays, 70 yards. Newhouse on a trap left. They're still out of the gun. I got to change that. And Newhouse finds an opening, and he scores. The Cardinals blitzed, and Worley missed the tackle. So the Cowboys score a touchdown. And so it's 6-0 with 9:42. And the extra point is up and barely good by Septian. That hooked to the left, but it's good. So a 9:42 to go first quarter. It's Dallas 7, St. Louis nothing. And the the Cowboys will take that 10 times out of 9. Staubach 2 for 2 for 52 yards on the drive. So St. Louis will have. I'm surprised it's not Mel Gray. It's Harrell as the deep back. Shelby and Bell stand on their own 15. They will be into the win, and they are working it left to right. Septien gets a foot on the ball, and that's a good kick. That's going to drive it right back to the goal line, 10-yard line, 15-20. There's a seam there, 25-26. Nate Thurman with a tackle at the 26. Willard Harrell. Hello, ID Jester. We're doing great. Willard Harrell with the return. So 1st and 10 for the Cardinals, and they're already down 7-0, 9:37 to go. You know Jim Hart, he would be a 50% passer. He was a good quarterback on a bunch of bad teams. Behind him, Wayne Morris is the primary running back for St. Louis. And Jim Otis, well, I guess they kind of split between the two. Pat Tilley is the far side wide receiver. And Mel Gray, the Hall of Famer, is a near side wide receiver. The tight end is Eason Ramsden. Off tackle right for Morris. They're going to have a tough time against this Doomsday defense. And he gets across the 30-yard line before Harvey Martin makes a tackle after a gain of 5. So 2nd down and 5, a good play there. Cowboys played pass, and they got the run instead. So 2nd down and 5. Jim Otis on a sweep to the far side. Sweep left is the call, and he gets it across the 30. I don't think he's going to get the first down before Too Tall Jones makes a tackle after a gain of 3. So 3rd down and 2. Let's meet the line for the St. Louis Cardinals. Tom Banks. Oh, Dan Deerdorf. I think you know who he is. He is the left tackle. At left guard is Tom Banks. He also can be a center. Bob Young is the center. He's a big boy. Terry Steve is the right guard. And Keith Workman is the right tackle. 3rd down and 2. Trap left for Morris. And the Cowboys sniffed that out right away. And Bob Bruning made the tackle. Terry Steve could not make the block, and the Cardinals will have to punt 4th down and 4. Mr. Loudmouth Dan Deerdorf. I always liked Deerdorf. So Mike Wood, the Cardinal punter, comes out. Johnson and Hill will return this. And the punt is away, and it's not a good one, as I believe it's Hill will crosses the 30-yard line and fields it at the 32 to the 35, 40. Flag on the play, so this will all come back.
Receiving team, 15-yard penalty.
Elvin Bethea with the hold, so it's a 15-yard penalty. And the Cardinals catch a break. We start this drive from the Dallas 21. Dorsett's back there with Newhouse. And Newhouse will go on an off tackle to the right. And he gets to the 22 before Zook can make the tackle of gain of 2. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the Cowboy 23-yard line. Dorsett off tackle left. And he gets to the line of scrimmage before Tim Kearney makes his 4th tackle of the game. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so 3rd and 6, Dallas is going to have to throw. They still stay with the 2 wide. And it'll be Tony Hill on a short hitch. Staubach back. Flips it off to Hill, who's got it. And Worley overran Hill and came back and made the tackle. So it's 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of Dallas with Worley with a tackle. That's his 2nd. So Staubach is now 3 for 3 for 62 yards. Dallas is averaging nearly 400 yards a game. And you wonder why they've only given up 14 points in 3 games? Well, look, the opponents have only put 167 yards on them. This is the second time we've featured Dallas. We had their absolute shellacking of Baltimore on the opening Monday night game 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago. Wow. So 1st and 10. Dupree on a medium cross. Staubach has time, but he's going to scramble. And, oh, it's a fumble. Zook knocked it away from him. Who's got it? Dallas will keep it. It was a bad snap, so it's not a sack. It's not a sack, but Zook with the tackle and the forced fumble and a 2nd down and 11. To emphasize the point on Dallas, they've scored 34 points a game, so my quickie math tells me that's 102 points, and they've only allowed 4.7. That's dominance. That's just pure dominance. Newhouse on a fullback dive, and that is going to go nowhere. Pollard with the tackle. They played for the run, and so it'll be 3rd down and long for Dallas at the 34-yard line. Butch Johnson is the 3rd receiver, and he will get a medium hitch. Dorsett the lone setback. Staubach throws, complete to Johnson for a 1st down. He gets it to midfield, and before Smith makes the tackle. Perry Smith on the stop. And so Staubach is 4 for 4 for 81 yards. It's a 19-yard gain by Johnson against Los Angeles. And to tell you just how bad the Rams have been, I believe they're now 1-3. Staubach ripped them apart. 16 for 29 for 2 scores, 3 picks, and 221 yards. Preston Pearson in the backfield. And before he gets tired, they'll say 3 wide, and there'll be 1 to him in the flat. He's got it at midfield. Line of scrimmage is the 47. Across the 45 to the 40. 1st down and more, 35-30. There isn't a St. Louis defender around him. Niels eventually makes the tackle at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 18. So Staubach is 5 for 5 for 99 yards. Dorsett and Newhouse return, 1st and 10. And you can see why the Cowboys won the NFC. Man, this is a powerhouse offense. Dorsett off tackle right. And he's got a hole. Gets it across the line of scrimmage to the 25 before Mike Dawson makes a tackle. That is a gain of 5. So 2nd down and 5 for Dallas at the St. Louis 24. They lead at 7-0. Newhouse on a sweep to the left. And they can't read that. He gets it to the 20. It's going to be a 1st down and a little bit more before Pollard makes the tackle after a gain of 8. So the Cowboys are in the red zone at the St. Louis 16-yard line. 2:10 to go, opening stanzas, 7-0 Dallas. Their 2nd long drive of the day. And the Cardinals defense, even though the weather's nice, 69, barely a breath of wind, is starting to look a bit winded, especially Zook and Dawson. Drew Pearson on a medium fly. They want to score now. Staubach is flushed. He's going to dump it off to Dorsett at the 15. He gets it to the 10 before Allerman makes the tackle after a gain of 7. Spotted at the 9. Staubach read the blitz well, as he always does. He just doesn't have that scrambling speed anymore. But still, 2nd down and 3. All right, Al, we'll see you in a bit. So Newhouse, trap left. 2nd down and 3 from the 9. He's got room. He's got all sorts of room. He's got a touchdown. Great blocking by Dallas. And it's 13-0. Again, that was on the line, and Newhouse has 6 carries for 40 yards. Septien will convert this extra point, and with 44 seconds to go, it is Dallas 14, St. Louis nothing. So here's the kick. Harrell had a good return the first time up. And this will send him back to the goal line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 26-yard line before Bob Bruning makes the tackle. So 39 seconds to go first quarter. St. Louis has only run 3 plays from scrimmage. Dallas has run 19. So Jim Hart, oof. We'll look for Pat Tilley on a medium hitch on 1st and 10. He's got time. He's got Tilley at the 40 to the 45. And Charlie Waters will make the tackle at the 48-yard line. They thought that Wayne Morris was going to run the ball, and so Dallas keyed him. And instead, they threw the pass on 1st down. At the end of the first quarter, it is Dallas 14, St. Louis nothing. Excuse me while I take a drink. So second quarter, Cardinals, like I said, they only ran 4 plays to Dallas's 19. Morris, have we met the Dallas defense? We didn't meet them. Let's do that now. They play a 4-3. Too Tall Jones is the right defensive end. Dave Stalls is on the defensive line. Randy White, all-world player, is the other defensive tackle. And Harvey Martin is the left defensive end. The linebackers, D.D. Lewis is on the left side. Bob Bruning is in the middle. And Thomas Henderson is on the right side. He, of course, it's Doomsday. And Thomas Henderson, who is Terry Bradshaw's best friend, is on the right side. Your corners, Aaron Kyle and Betty Barnes. Cliff Harris is the strong safety. Charlie Waters is the free safety. 1st and 10 for St. Louis, the first play of the second quarter. Otis on a trap right. And he won't even get back to the line before D.D. Lewis makes the tackle. They spot it at the line. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys. Morris on a pitch left. Cuts across. Pitch from Hart. Gets across midfield into Dallas territory before Bruning makes the tackle after a gain of 4. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for St. Louis from the Dallas 48-yard line. Mel Gray on a short slant. Hart has time. Waits for it to set up. And it's deflected by Randy White, and it's incomplete. And so for the second time today, St. Louis will have to punt. But they should have Dallas pinned pretty deep. They have the wind here in the second quarter. And they will punt it deep. They hope to trap Johnson or Hill inside the 10-yard line. In fact, it goes inside the 5. And the Cowboys hope it rolls dead in the end zone. Yeah, and Michael in the chat says, Bradshaw can't spell cat if you spot him a C and an A. One of the best quotes of all time. Yep. So the punt rolls dead at the 3-yard line. They'll pick up the flag, and so Dallas will start from their own 3. They're set on a trap to the left. 2 wide receivers set. He gets to the 5. He gets to the 9-yard line before Arneson makes the tackle. 2nd down and 4 for Dallas, and now Staubach chooses to. He has room to throw. Newhouse off tackle right is the call from the 9-yard line. He gets across the 10. And Arneson makes the hit, but they're short. Arneson's hurt. He'll stay in the game, but he's flexing that wrist back and forth. So 3rd down and inches from the 13-yard line. Staubach calls his own number. And he's got it. Waits for the line to move. They watch for Dorsett. Arneson's hurt again, and he's coming out. I think he hit a hand on a helmet. So the clock stops with 11:44, and Dallas gets a new set of downs. And this is just a clinic. The third Dallas drive, the other two have been long ground pounds that resulted in touchdowns. Pearson on a medium cross. Staubach to throw on a first down. He has time to check around, and he tries to find Dorsett with it, and it's incomplete. So that's the first incompletion for Staubach on the game. He's now 6 for 7 for a $1.06. Let's see. 2nd down and 10. Dorsett on a sweep to the left. And Dorsett gets across to the 15 to the 20. He gets a first down and more. 25-30 before Tim Kearney makes a tackle after a gain of 17. Spotted at the 31-yard line. Dorsett now has 34 on the game. In this game in real life, which Dallas only won by 9, 21-12, Dorsett carried the ball 21 times for 154. So it's not a surprise to see Dorsett carve the Cardinal defense. Their strength was their offensive line, not their defensive line. From the 31. Lindlaw will take some carries for Newhouse. And he'll take one off tackle to the right. And he gets a block. He gets to the 35 as he gets the first down. Yes, he does. Across the 40, Arneson is available. And Tom Rafferty has had the game of his life. He's already ripped open 3 holes. And the Cowboys have 89 yards on the ground, and we're only 20 minutes into the game. When you can do that, when you can dominate the line of scrimmage, it doesn't matter who. You could have me back there running the football, and it wouldn't matter. Dorsett trapped to the left side. To the 40. 44, 45 before Mike Dawson makes the tackle. You're just not putting on any pressure on Dallas to do anything with it. They can just do what they want. And right now, it's steamrolling through St. Louis. Laidlaw on a trap to the right. Gets past the line of scrimmage before John Zook makes the tackle after a gain of 4. 3rd down and 3 for Dallas at their own 49. Laidlaw in the flat is the call. Staubach waits, finds Laidlaw at the 45. He's got room down the sidelines. He gets a first down across midfield to the 40. 35, 32-yard line before Arneson makes the tackle. They spot it at the 31. And right now, Dallas can't do anything wrong. A 20-yard completion by Laidlaw there, and Staubach is now 7 for 8 for 126 yards. When you're running for 5 yards a carry, you're doing something right. Hill on a medium out. Staubach back to throw. You might as well see what you can get away with. He checks it down. Roger Worley
pass interference. Defense. Number 22, automatic.
And a mistake by St. Louis. Worley was blanketed on him, got a hand in there, but he was grabbing onto Hill's jersey while trying to make the block, and that's just not going to happen. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Laidlaw on a dive. He's supposed to get 5 yards on this. And he gets, maybe 2. Yep, 2 yards. Mike Dawson with an ankle tackle. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 with 7:49 to go in the first half. Off tackle to the right for Dorsett. And he's off and running, but he's going to lose a couple yards before Steve Nellis makes a tackle at the 18. That's a loss of 1, and it makes it 3rd down and 9 for Dallas. And they will go 3 wide. Pearson on a short hitch. It's 3rd down and 9. Staubach off a backstep deflected by Allen, but Pearson rips it away. Allen makes an immediate tackle. Pearson's hurt. He went off on his own power, so his return is questionable. But it'll be 4th and 1 from the St. Louis 10. And out steps Raphael Septien to make the kick. He's got a 79.8% chance of making this. Danny White will hold. Kick snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And so, Drew Pearson says, I'm available. So better than questionable. With 6:34 to go in the first half, it's Dallas 17, St. Louis nothing. So Septien boots this one away. And it will be fielded at the 6-yard line to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31-yard line. So Harrell is having a good day as a returnman. And Brown makes a tackle at the 31-yard line after a gain of 25. So the Cardinals, again, they've only run 7 plays in a quarter and a half. Morris on a short flat. St. Louis has to keep their defense off the field for a while. Morris makes the completion. He gets to the 30, 35, 40, first down, 45, 50. Across the 45 to the 40. This is a good play. 35, 30 before Henderson makes a tackle at the Dallas 31. It's a gain of 38 for Morris. And so Hart is now 2 for 3 for 60 yards. Under 6 minutes to go, second quarter. Off tackle to Morris. From the Dallas 31, he gets it to the line of scrimmage and maybe about a yard more before Harvey Martin makes the tackle. Dallas was expecting the Morris to get it, and he did. So 2nd down and 9 for the Cardinals. They're kind of in Jim Bakken field goal range at 24%. Now Gray on a short out is the call. Hart back to throw on 2nd and 9. Checks it down to Gray, who has it. He's going to have a first down. He gets barely inside the 20 before Aaron Kyle makes the tackle at the 18-yard line. He was pushed out of bounds, and it's a gain of 12. They'll spot it at the 18. So the Cardinals could make some noise, and now, field goal wise, it's a coin flip. Jim Otis on a sweep to the left. And there's people in the backfield already. Otis swarms around one, but not the other. And so Ed Jones, in his pre-boxing days, will knock Otis down after a loss of 3. And again, Terry Steve, who in this very good offensive line sticks out like a sore thumb, makes the second bad judgment of the day. 2nd down to 13. And it's Morris on the draw. And he gets it to the 20. That was actually a good call. To the 15. And he's going to be knocked down by Henderson at the 13-yard line. So it's a gain of 8. Bob Young, the center, is responsible for that hole. And it'll be 3rd down and 5 for St. Louis. This is their best drive of the game. Otis in a short flat is the call on 3rd and 5. Hart has him. Now let's see if he can get any blocking. He gets to the 10. He'll have a first down and more to the 5. And he is stopped by Bruning at the 1-yard line. And Bruning, with a desperate tackle, knocked him out. He just shoved him. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Cardinals from the Dallas 1 with 3:12 to go in the half. 2 tight end set for St. Louis. Otis on a dive. Hart hands it off, and they score. Otis gets the touchdown. And so with 3:04 to go in the first half, the Cardinals are on the board. A 7-play drive for 69 yards. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. So with 3:04 left, Dallas gets the football, and they lead 17-7. The kick is away by Bakken, and it'll be fielded by Dallas at the 4-yard line. To the 10, 15, 20, good return, 25. That was Johnson, Billy Johnson with a return. And Woolsey brought him down after a 20-yard gain at the 24. So under 3 minutes to go. The Cowboys have ran the ball 22 times in the first half. That's amazing. Dupree on a medium slant. We'll see what Dallas will do here. Staubach has time. He looks. He finds Dupree at the 38-yard line and gets the first down to the 40. 45 before Nelson will knock him down. It's a gain of 23, and they'll spot it at the Dallas 47, 1st and 10. Tony Hill on a short out. 2:48 to go in the half. Staubach again has all day, but he checks it down to Laidlaw. Incomplete. So 2:21, 2nd down and 10. Staubach now 9 for 11 for 157. Dorsett on a sweep right. Last play before the 2-minute warning. And he gets a block. He gets across midfield. He gets it to the St. Louis 47. It's a gain of 6. And the Cowboys will let it run to the 2-minute warning. So with 2 minutes to go, it is Dallas 17, St. Louis 7. So 3rd down and short. Laidlaw on a trap to the right. They're going to run it. And is that the right call? No, it'll be at the 44. They're a yard short. They're a yard short here. So Dallas will punt. Well, actually, Dallas waits till there's a minute 13 on the clock, and then they will punt. Danny White hopes to pin him on their 2. And it's blocked by Arneson. Arneson with the block. And St. Louis, with 3 timeouts in a minute, 8 is already in Dallas territory. The blocking there was bad. White got it, but he never saw him coming, or else he would have taken off with it and ran with it. So St. Louis, 3 wide. Dave Steef is the 3rd receiver for St. Louis with a minute 8 to go. Short out pattern to Steve. Hart back to throw. Has time. He looks. He's got Steve at the 35 to the 30. Inside the 30 to the 30-yard line. Inside the 30 to 30. That's great. So it's a 1st down. It's a gain of 11. The Cowboys thought they were going to run. They played nickel, but they blitzed for a run. Gray on a short hitch. Cardinals go hurry up. And Gray deflected by Kyle, and Barnes with the interception. They cut out in front of it. Hart underthrew it. 45-50. Benny Barnes with it. He is tackled at the St. Louis. I don't know where they're going to spot this. It's a 38-yard return. They spot it at the St. Louis 38. So it's Barnes' 2nd interception. That was all the way on Hart. He underthrew Gray. Watch this on the replay. You can see there, and he just underthrew it. And the deflection was there, and Barnes was there to pick it off. And so Dallas has 2 timeouts, 36 seconds. They're not in 70 end range yet, but they're close. to Pearson on the short slant. Staubach has time, waits, fires over the middle. Arneson deflects it, incomplete. 33 seconds to go. So first deflection of the game by St. Louis, or by Arneson. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys from the St. Louis 38. Dorsett in the flat is the call. Staubach waits. And he goes to Dupree. Find another read instead. He gets across the 30. First down to the 28 to the 25. Dupree to the 20. He's inside the 20. He brings him down at the 17-yard line. Lee Nelson. And Dallas will call timeout. So Lee Nelson on the stop. 23 seconds left. And we sit at the St. Louis 17-yard line. Medium slant to Tony Hill. They're hoping for 6. Staubach has to look around. He dumps it down to Preston Pearson. And it is incomplete. 20 seconds left. Still one timeout. Going to try something short in the flat to Pearson. Staubach waits. He checks it down to the other way, Dupree, and it's incomplete. Pearson was covered all the way. 3rd down and 10. Now you got to go end zone if you're going to try it. Tony Hill in a long out. Staubach has time. This has to be a touchdown, and the clock will run out. I'm sorry, they have a timeout left to throw down there. Hill has it at the 2, and he waltzes in for 6. No, he's tackled short. Roger, the play was wrong. Roger Worley just happens to brush against him and somehow kept him in bounds at the goal line. So Dallas is forced to use the timeout. And they do it with 1 second left. So Septien, on the last play of the half, the kick is up, the kick is good, and he makes it 20-7 at the half. So St. Louis will receive. There, I think that gets you out of your way so you can see it. Those are the St. Louis stats. Jim Hart is 5 for 7 for 95. They've tried to run it. My goodness, have they tried to run it, but they haven't really had any success. The scoring plays, it's been all Dallas. They scored the first 17 in the game before Otis's touchdown with 3:04. And they had the interception. They were going to go for, at least probably get 3 out of the deal to make it 17-10. But the turnover led to a Dallas field goal, and that's how we stand, 20-7. Dallas has had 17 first downs in the first half. To St. Louis's 6. 24 runs for the Cowboys. Clean half, only 2 penalties. The 1 turnover, and Dallas, why are they ahead? They've scored every time they've been in the red zone, and they've had the ball 21 minutes and 8 seconds. So Septien is ready, and we're underway in the second half. Harrell will get this about his 5-yard line to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, to the 31-yard line before Huther. Well, bless you too, makes the tackle at the 31. So 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Again, they've had no success on the ground and barely any success in the air. Dallas has been the Tony Dorsett show and Billy Joe Dupree. Off tackle to Morris is the call on 1st and 10. And he gets across the 35-yard line before Stalls Dave Stalls, who is playing defensive tackle right now, makes a stop after a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Cardinals, just the start of the third quarter. Morris on a pitch to the right. Hart waits. Now he tosses it to the side. Morris gets across the 40, 1st down. And D.D. Lewis makes a tackle after a gain of 9 at the St. Louis 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 for St. Louis at their own 44. Morris now has 6 carries for 25 yards. Short slant to the tight end Ramsden. Hart waits. Nope, he tried to knock it down, but Randy White knocked it down. They were looking for Morris on the run, and so it'll be 2nd and long from the St. Louis 44-yard line. DeMotis on a sweep to the left and gets past 1 across the 44. Almost to midfield. Too Tall Jones makes a tackle at midfield. So it's a gain of 6. Otis now has 6 carries for 11 yards. But it's still 3rd down and 4 for St. Louis. Right on the shield. Right on the F. Tilly on a medium hitch is the call. Dallas to blitz. Hart looks, throws. Otis will have a 1st down and a little bit more across the 45 to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play and a good improvised by Hart to get that 1st down. They really needed it. Bob Bruning has 5 tackles. St. Louis is averaging 21 points a game and only allowing 18. That was before this one. Cowboys already have 20 on the board. Mel Gray on a medium hitch, and Dallas blitzes. Hart is going to have to. Hart can't make it past the line of scrimmage. D.D. Lewis with a sack on the blitz, and it'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Cardinals. So that's the first sack of Hart this afternoon. And, of course, that's the first sack of Lewis for the game. The Cowboys already have 300 net yards. Well, St. Louis has 132 after that sack. Morris on a pitch to the far side. Hart gets it away. Cross midfield to the 45. And Bruning makes a tackle at about the 44. So right back to the original line of scrimmage for this set of downs anyway. Cowboys playing the prevent. 6 stopped for Bruning. And Morris now has 30 yards on 7 carries. So 3rd down and long. 3rd wide receiver in. Gray on a short hitch. Hart to throw it. And he deflected by Henderson, but this time there is no interception. Harvey Martineau rolled an ankle, and he'll be out for a couple plays. So Henderson with a deflection, and the Cardinals are going to have to punt. So 8 plays, 25 yards, and nothing to show for it. Wood will aim this one for the sidelines and hopes to get a good one. Cardinal offense has been averaging close to 358 yards a game. Punt goes out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Harvey Martin's back, and they have the Cowboys pinned. So with 10:49 to go in the third quarter, it's Dallas 20, St. Louis 7. Robert Newhouse joins Tony Dorsett back in the backfield for the Cowboys. Dorsett will get an off-tackle right for the first play from scrimmage. And a good block? No, not really. He gets to the 7-yard line before Steve Nils makes the tackle. And Dorsett now has 12 carries for 44 yards. A long hitch. They're going to try it. Drew Pearson. Let's see if they can catch him off balance. 2nd down and 8. Cardinals blitz. I don't like this. It is deflected by Allen and incomplete. Allen got a piece of it. That's the 2nd of the day, but there were nothing doing. So 3rd and 8. So they're going to go 2 tight end set, but they're going to throw a pass to Preston Pearson out of it. Flag on the play. Pollard gets the sack.
Offense, number 70.
And it will count. Rayfield Wright held. That was just a goo-goo cluster from the get-go. And so Danny White will be forced to punt from his own 2-yard line. So a big advantage for St. Louis. White from his end zone gets one off, and this is short. This will be fielded inside the 40. This will be fielded at the 37-yard line by Harrell, who makes a fair catch. So, in 9:52 to go, 1st and 10 for St. Louis, and they are in good shape. Pat Tilley on a short cross, as they call it. It's normally a tight end route. Hart has to scramble. He looks. He checks it down to Ramson at the 35 to the 30 before Harris makes a tackle after a gain of 8. First time we've called Cliff Harris's game this afternoon, or name. 2nd down and 2. So Eason Ramson has his first catch. Otis on a trap to the left on 2nd down. And he will be stopped short. Randy White. They wanted more as they played for the run, and White makes the tackle for a gain of 1. So 3rd down and short from the Dallas 29. Not quite field goal range for Bakken. That's a 30-yarder. Two tight end set. Wade Morris is going to try a pitch to the left. He's got it. He's got his first down. He gets to the 25-yard line. Cowboys read it all the way, but that extra blocker certainly helped. And it's a gain of 4 on the play. Morris, 8 carries, 34 yards. St. Louis is doing the best it can. It's hung in there. Dallas was up 14-0 in the first quarter. St. Louis had all of 2 plays, or 1 series. But the Cardinals have calmed down and have at least held their own. Morris will come out, and Willard Harrell, who is normally their kickoff return man, will sit in a couple plays here. Milgray on a medium slant. Cowboys blitz. Hart throws it over the middle to Gray at the 12, to the 10, to the 5, and that's 6. That worked. That's a touchdown. So Milgray has 2 catches for 37 yards, and if the Cardinals convert this extra point, we have a 1-score game. Bakken gets it down, and with 8:07 to go, it is Dallas 20, St. Louis 14. So Johnson stands at his 8. Brinson and Blackwell are at their 15. And Bakken gets this one away. St. Louis has persevered. Can they climb the mountain? They'll go to one of the upmen back at the goal line to the 5, 10, 15, 20. Got a good block there. And is taken down by Allerman. That was Blackwell on the return. Allerman with a tackle on the 25-yard line. Alois Blackwell. Excuse me. That's what happens when you drink seltzer and do this. So Dorsett and Newhouse are the setbacks. Trap left to Dorsett. And Tony waits for his block, gets across the line of scrimmage to the 30 before Kearney makes the tackle at the 32. A gain of 7 on first down. Herbert Scott, the left guard, is the one that with the big block, and the Dallas offensive line should be in line for Rolexes today. They have just made every big block when they've needed to. Hello, Al. So the Cardinals, who were down 14-0, have made a game of this. Now 20-14. The computer has Dallas as an 8-point favorite. But in real life, Dallas came into this game as a 17-point favorite. Imagine that. In any NFL game, anyone being a 17-point favorite. Second down and 3. Newhouse on a trap to the right is the call. And Newhouse waits for his block. He'll get it. It's a first down. Allerman with a tackle after a gain of 4. So Newhouse has 8 carries for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Cowboys get a fresh set with 7:07 to go in the third quarter. Tony Hill on a medium out. Staubach is flushed. He's in trouble. He gets it off to Dorsett. He avoids the sack. Dorsett gets to the 40 or the 39 before Allerman can tackle him. It's a gain of 5. And again, that's all on Staubach. That wasn't a play, but Staubach had the pocket presence to make something happen out of that. Newhouse from the flat on 2nd and 5. Staubach has him open. He gets across the 40. 45, first down, midfield, across into St. Louis territory, the 45. Kearney makes the tackle at the 43, a gain of 16. So Staubach is now 13 for 19 for 216. Newhouse off tackle left is the call. And he gets across the 40. That's a good run. He gets the first down and more to the 30. And Kearney again with a tackle after a gain of 16. So Pat Donovan, the tackle. Again, the Cowboys have run the ball 28 times for 135 yards. And I don't have I have a calculator in front of me, but the computer tells me that is 4.8 a carry. And if you do that, I don't care what era of football you're playing, you are winning games. Drew Pearson on a medium fly. Staubach, again, looks around, and he finds Hill at the 20 before Roger Worley can tackle him after a gain of 9. So Hill now has 36 yards on 3 catches. It wasn't a bomb. Sometimes the computer will glitch like that. I didn't call it a bomb. Staubach 14 for 20 for 225. Second down and short. Dorsett pitch left. And Dorsett has it. Gets across the 20, and that's about it. He's going to lose. Oh, they say he got back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on that. Cardinals wanted Dorsett, and he has the first down, but not much more than that. Allerman makes the tackle after a gain of 2. 2:53 and with the clock running here in the third. Dallas was up big in this game, and St. Louis has rolled it back to 6. Scott Laidlaw is now in for Newhouse. Dorsett on the sweep left, but there's a flag. Somebody
Offense, number 89.
The tight end, Billy Joe Dupree, had an itch in his hands and forgot the snap count. And so it'll be first and 15 for the Cowboys from the St. Louis 21. So out of the gun goes Staubach. Dorsett on the draw. And St. Louis, I think, had that. No, they don't. 20, flag down, 15. And Dorsett makes it to the 10 before Arneson makes a tackle. But Tony Hill moved early, and it's all for naught. So you take off the 12-yard run and tack on a 5-yard penalty in front of it. On this 70-degree day, you can see the steam rising off the fedora of one Tom Landry. He's pretty upset. He'll take a breather for Doug Dennison. First and 20 for Dallas at the St. Louis 26. And Dennison will get a screen. Staubach throws. Dennison has it at the 30. He has a little bit of running room. He gets across the 25. Arneson with a tackle after a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 16 from the St. Louis 22. Dennison did what he was supposed to do. Laidlaw off tackle. Nope, St. Louis wasn't quite sure what to do there, and they call time. So with 1:33 to go in the third, Dallas second and 16 from the St. Louis 22. They lead 20-14. Dennison on the draw, and that's a good call. We get to the 20, inside of the 15-yard line. Dennison claws for another yard before Dawson makes a tackle at the 13. So it's a 9-yard gain, another huge hole by Donovan. The Cowboy offensive line is given a clinic. This has been an absolute smash-mouth clinic by the Dallas Cowboys. Third down and 7. They'll go 3 wide, and they'll be Preston Pearson in the... No, it won't be. Drew Pearson on a short slant from the 13. Staubach has rushed, and he will run. He gets inside the 15 to the 10 before he's hit by Nels after a gain of 5. And so the Cowboys will let the clock run, and Raphael Septien will come in for the 28-17, 25. Dallas, let me take a drink here. Dallas is 21 first down to St. Louis is 10. St. Louis actually had the ball a little bit longer this period, but the Cowboys have had the ball 30 minutes. So White is out to hold for Septien. The period was over because they wanted that little bit of wind to be with Septien, and he missed it. He missed it. Oh, my goodness. So St. Louis, with a touchdown and an extra point, can go ahead. They can do whatever they want. 14:56 to go in regulation. And the Cowboys have not put the Cardinals away. Otis on a pitch to the left, but there's a flag down.
Ball start. Offense. Number 85. 5-yard penalty.
Mel Gray.
First down.
So it's first and 15 for the Cardinals from their own 15. Steve Jones is in with Otis now in the backfield. What are we doing here? And it'll be a dive play to Jones. Peter doesn't like it. But Jones fights his way out to the 19-yard line before Randy White makes a tackle. Only the second for White, and they'll spot it second down and 11 for St. Louis. Tilley on a medium slant. Hart has time. He looks, he throws over the middle. Tilley has it, first down. Tilley to the 35. Benny Barnes makes a tackle at the 36. It's a gain of 17. So St. Louis has been given all sorts of life. Short cross to Ramsden. Hart back to throw it. Ramsden. Hart's in trouble. Hart's going to get sacked by Martin. Martin yanked him by the ankle for a loss of 6. Hart heard it, but just couldn't do anything with it. My color man now says Cards did have a nice run from 74, where they went 10-4, 75, 11-3, 76, 10-4, and 7-7 and 77. It's a lot of 7s there, Al. And the slide began the original when the original Eric Coryell show left in the Chargers. Yep, that's true. Eric Coryell got to start with Hart. Actually, you could say that there's a lot of good comparisons between Dan Fouts and Jimmy Hart. But in the opening, I think they dropped like out of their first 6 or first 8 or whatever, and they ended up on a house of fire the second half of the year. Second down and 16. Otis on a pitch to the left. And he gets across the line of scrimmage to the 35, to the 37 before Henderson makes the tackle. Dan Deerdorf ripped open that hole and told you all about it on his way back to the huddle. So third down and long for St. Louis from their own 37. Gray on a short hitch. Third down and 9. Hart. Quick pass to Gray, but he won't get the first down. Aaron Kyle had him covered like a blanket. So it's a catch, but it's a gain of 6. And St. Louis will punt. That is it's a lot of 7s. So fourth down and 3. The Cardinals, when it comes down to it later on, only have 2 timeouts left. Mike Wood is not a great punter. He only averaged 37.7 on the year. And this one is going to be short. You see the Cowboy returner, Henderson, coming in. 25 to the 33-yard line before Townsend makes the tackle. Butch Johnson with the return. And so the Cowboys will set up from their own 32, 11:46. And despite the fact that they have produced 375 net yards, this game isn't over. They can't lay back. Hill on a short out. Staubach to throw it. Staubach has Hill at the 40. It's a first down, and Roger Worley makes the tackle after a gain of 12. So Staubach has thrown for 241 yards. It's Hill's 4th catch for 48. And it's 1st and 10 Dallas from the 44-yard line. Yeah, they're only up 6. Yeah, I'm surprised. Dorsett and Newhouse are back in the football game. That says Laylaw because the game says so. But it is Newhouse. Dorsett on an off tackle left. And from the 44, and St. Louis read that one like a cheap book. Pollard. They were keying Dorsett, and Pollard makes a tackle for a loss of 1. So second down and 11 for Dallas from their own 43. Newhouse on a pitch to the far side. And he gets a block. He gets to the 45. He gets to around midfield. He crosses into St. Louis territory before Allerman knocks him down for a gain of 10. So it'll be third down and short for Dallas. They are 7 for 11 on third down this afternoon. Speaking of 7s. 10:18 to go in the football game. Two tight end, 2 running back set. And Staubach's going to call his own number. Waits for the line to go. And he puts his head down and he's going to be shoot. No, he barely got it. He barely got it. That was all set up for Staubach to get 5 or 6 yards, and he barely got 1. In fact, they played for Dorsett, but John Fitzgerald could not make the block. All for naught as the Cowboys, with under 9 minutes to go, have it 1st and 10. Dorsett off tackle left, but there's a flag down.
False start. Offense, number 80.
Again, that's
penalty.
Tony Hill.
Repeat first down.
Wide receiver offside. That's only the 4th Cowboy penalty. Only been 1 turnover in the game. This really has been a good game. 1st and 15. Dorsett will try the sweep to the right. Gets past 1 blocker in the backfield. 50, 45-yard line. Arneson with a tackle after a gain of 7. Rayfield right makes the stop, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Dallas. So we'll see how much Landry decides he wants to milk the clock. But another score would make the 65,000 at Texas Stadium feel a hell of a lot better. Pitch to Dupree. Staubach has time. He looks. And Arneson got a piece of it. He underthrew Dupree, and unlike when the Cowboys had the chance and took advantage, St. Louis couldn't get there. So it's 3rd down and 8. What can we throw to Butch Johnson? That's going to get me 8 yards. Short cross. Well, Staubach is under heavy pressure. He looks. He's going to run it. 45-40. Well, he gets the first down this time inside the 35 to the 30-yard line before Allen makes the tackle. Carl Allen might have saved a touchdown there. Staubach found a seam, and he wasn't going to slide. He got 16 yards. What a big play that was. And Al says, Conrad Dobler's not on this team. He's with Buffalo in 78. And yeah, he probably would have bitten a Cowboy anyway. So 1st and 10 for Dallas from the St. Louis 28-yard line. And so Dorsett and Newhouse are back in the game. Screen to Dorsett. Staubach has under pressure again. And he gets it off to Dorsett at the last second. Who gets back to the line of scrimmage anymore? Yes, 25-20. It was the right call. 1st down and more to the 15 before Allerman makes a tackle at the 13. So the Dallas scrambling around and making plays when they have to. 1st and 10 from the 13. Newhouse on a dive. And St. Louis read that one immediately. They keyed Dorsett, but Newhouse gets 2 and is a season high of 78 yards. 6:26 to go. 4th quarter. Dallas 20, St. Louis 14. Dorsett, a pitch to the right from their own 11. And that was a mistake, as Nellis sniffed that one out. They keyed Dorsett off for the run, and Nellis made the tackle for no gain. Pat Donovan with a bad run. Oh, I'm being corrected. My producers in the truck tell me New Orleans and Buffalo. Only reason I know, I checked after not seeing Dobler again, hoping he would have bit someone. Al, blood and guts Red Sox fan. Then he went to Buffalo. Okay. Always looking for the violence, Al. The internet's best boxing announcer. Tony Hill will short hitch. St. Louis on the blitz. Staubach off his back foot finds Hill for a 1st down and finds him for a touchdown. Hill just kept running, and St. Louis couldn't get a hit on him. So Tony Hill with a big touchdown makes it 26-17. And the extra point is barely good. Remember, Septien missed a crucial field goal to start the 4th quarter. So we're kind of like where we were a couple days ago. The Cardinals need 2 touchdowns. Dallas leads by 13. Septien gets a foot on it, and it will be taken at the 5-yard line of the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 29-yard line. So Brown, Willard with the tackle, Willard Harrells had himself a game. 3 wide for St. Louis. Gray on a medium hitch. Hart is going to scramble. It gets across the 30 before Harvey Martin makes a tackle for a gain of 1. Yeah, if you're going to be relying on Jim Hart's legs, you might as well wheel out the statue with the pigeon poo party on it. Morris in the flat. Nope. Chance to audible, and they don't. So Morris in the flat. Hart throws. Morris has it. Gets to the original line of scrimmage. 35, 1st down to the 40. It's a good call. He gets to the 45 before Charlie Waters makes a tackle. Just about 4 minutes to go. They can't dilly-dilly here. Tilly on a medium cross. Hart waits. And he tried to find Morris, and Morris took a helmet to the ribs, but he's okay. So 2nd and 10 for St. Louis. They need 2 scores, and they have 3:42 to do it. They need 2 touchdowns. A field goal won't do them any good. Easton Ramson on a short cross. And Hart again has to take off. And he is sacked by White for a loss of 2. And so the hurry-up offense is not St. Louis's friend. And so it'll be 3rd down and long. They're playing out of the hurry-up. From the St. Louis 42. Gray on a slant. Morris on a screen on the audible. This really is 4-down territory. They need something to work. Morris has it. He gets to the line of scrimmage, to the 45, to the midfield. Bruning makes a tackle at the Dallas 49-yard line. That's a 7th tackle. It's a gain of 9, and you got to go for it. They only have 2 timeouts, and Dallas is just too good. They have pounded out. This is the Cowboys. The Cowboys have pounded out 448 net yards. So this is really the game right here. Tilly on a short hitch. Hart throws. Waters deflects it, and Dallas takes over. And somewhere before he heads on the plane to wherever the Monday night game was this particular week, Dandy Don polishes off his scotch and takes out his singing voice. So really a 1st down for Dallas will do it. In the real game, Jim Hart went at 15 for 30 for 204. Today, 12 for 18 for 180. Mel Gray had 7 catches for 107 in the real game. That's not going to be the case today. Oh yeah, Charlie Waters wrecked many a play. So Pearson on a medium fly. 1st down would be big. Staubach standing around. He checks it down, incomplete, and he's hit. He'll stay in the game. He got his bell rung. And so it'll be a sweep to Dorsett. 2nd and 10 with 2:44 to go. Dorsett across midfield. 45, 1st down, 40-yard line and more before Kearney makes a tackle after a gain of 14. So the Cowboys run it down to the 2-minute warning. And I think this is safely theirs. Let's see what St. Louis does after this play. Newhouse on a trap left. And he gets nowhere. It's a gain of 1. Tim Kearney with his 10th tackle of the game. He's had a whale of a game. And the Cardinals will take the timeout. They have 1 left. 2nd down and 9. So if Dallas could eke out another 1st down, they were looking for Dorsett. Newhouse 13 carries for 79. And the Cowboys are now over 200 yards on the ground. If that doesn't scream Tom Landry, I don't know what does. Dorsett on a pitch to the near side. Getting 154 yards in the real game. And he's going to run this time to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6. And St. Louis will not stop it. 3rd down and 2. Dallas taking as much time as they can. 2 tight ends set for Dorsett. Lone setback. But just to confuse him, we'll put Staubach out of the gun. Off tackle left for Dorsett is the call. And Tony does not get the 1st down. There's a 2nd effort, but there's a fumble. Kearney makes him fumble, but Dallas will keep the ball. Dorsett recovers his own fumble. So 20 carries for Tony for 78 yards. And the Cardinals will take a timeout with 1:01 to go. Conrad Dobler's middle name is Francis, and now we know why he was so violent. I went to school with a kid by the name of Francis. All right, so from the 29-yard line, we can just kind of sink this all the way with a Septien field goal. And so he's got a 66.3% chance of doing it. That's just a scooch under 2/3. Dallas has the win. This will be 46 yards. Good snap, good hold, and it's a miss to the right. It just took right. And so with 57 seconds left, St. Louis will try one desperate dash to do something. Gray on a medium slant. Hart looks, throws, incomplete. He dropped it right through his hands. And so somewhere in a booth you hear, "Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say all good things must end. Turn out the lights. The party's over. I don't need a copyright strike." Tilly on a short slant. Hart to throw it. Tilly has it, 35-yard line. They'll get to the 40 before Barnes can knock him down. 43 seconds, clock running. 1st and 10. Steve on a short slant. Here we go. Throw down, and Steve has it at the 45 and is tackled by Hughes after a gain of 7. Cowboys in the prevent. St. Louis in the hurry-up. Gray on a medium slant. 26 seconds left. Hart to throw it. Checks down to Gray. He's got it for a first down at the 40 before Kyle makes a tackle. 6 seconds left. Can I spike it? I don't think I can get a playoff. So that should be it. We'll try a bomb. To Tilly. We won't get it off. And so the final score, Dallas 27, no spiking, in 78. So Dallas 27, St. Louis 14. I did not download the fields, but I know they're there. I'm about to order a new computer, and we'll take care of that then. So let's take a look at some stats. Dallas had 27 first downs to St. Louis's 14. It just felt like this was a lot more of a blowout than a 13-point game. Only 2 touchdowns in the second half. Hart to Gray to make it a 1-score game. And then Staubach to Hill with 5:05 to go. Really just took the wind out of St. Louis's sails. Hart 15 for 22 for 211. They just couldn't get anything going on the ground, which is not a surprise against this defense. Dorsett 20 carries, 78. Newhouse 13 carries, 79. Roger, the Dodger, 18 for 26 for 267. And all sorts of catches. So, Dallas 27, St. Louis 14. Let's tell you real quick what happened the rest of the week. Since we didn't do that Tuesday. Can you see the standings? You kind of see the standings. The rest of the scores, Buffalo goes to 3-1 because they beat Baltimore 24-21. Brown, 16 carries, 170 yards. Cincinnati goes to 2-2. They beat New Orleans 23-17. Kenny Anderson, 19 for 29 for 214. You too, Al. Miami loses to Philadelphia. They're both 3-1, 28-24 or 14. The Redskins beat the Jets 31-7. Dallas and Washington on Tuesday. Atlanta 13, Tampa Bay 7. Atlanta goes to 2-2. They lead the NFC West. San Francisco loses to the Giants 20-17. O.J. Simpson 25 carries for 76 yards and 2 scores. Kansas City is now in a three-way race for the AFC West. They're 3-1 following their 17-14 win against Denver. Houston stuns Los Angeles 37-7. The Rams are 0-4. New England goes to 2-2. They beat Oakland 17-14. San Diego 3-1. They beat Green Bay 20-3. Detroit loses to Seattle 38-27. Jim Zorn throws for 261. And Chicago's 4-0. They beat Minnesota 34-7. Eddie Payton, or Walter Payton, rushes for 181. As Al says, give this a like and subscribe. So, for all of us at Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.